Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our panel on unlocking AI in broadcast and streaming, innovations and challenges. I'm Jody Neckles, a Senior Solutions Architect at Backlight, and I'll be your moderator for this session. Artificial intelligence is transforming every facet of our industry, from content production to distribution, driving innovation and efficiencies, while raising important questions around fair use and ethics. In just 30 minutes, we can't cover everything, but that's why we've brought together this outstanding and diverse panel, and our speakers will share firsthand their experiences and the challenges that they've faced, and also their visions for the future use of AI in the broadcast space. So to kick off things, let's do a round of introductions. Could each of you share a little bit about your organization and the role that you have it within it? So Kathy, starting with you.
Hi, I'm Kathy Batrick. I'm Head of Media Management and Library and AI Task Force Leader for Shark News. We launched in 2020 with a 24-hour multi-platform news channel, and then later launching two other channels, a Shark Discovery and a Shark Documentaries. My team is responsible for all of the incoming production media, archiving and metadata creation. And it's the metadata creation I'll be talking to you a bit about today.
Fantastic. And Iyad?
Hey there, Iyad Dweik, Director of Engineering at Integral STC. We are responsible for STC TV and Joey TV, which are OTT platforms available in MENA region. My teams are responsible for the media infrastructure end-to-end.
Excellent. And last but not least, Ala.
Hi, Ala, Director of Anti-Piracy and Technology for Rights Hero. Rights Hero, we focus on different parts. The technology part, which is developing tech services or solution, and also the main part, which is the anti-piracy and content protection for the broadcasting media player. And also we have a new part, which is the AI solutions that we're working on it to develop for the consumer.
That's very exciting. So, Kathy, let's begin by exploring the challenges newsrooms face managing vast and ever-growing content libraries. What problems do you solve leveraging AI in the media library department?
Yes, I think the main challenge is making the content easily discoverable and quickly discoverable by all the production teams, regardless of the platform they're utilizing to produce. So to do that, and also to increase the understanding of the content, if you're receiving foreign language content, it's important to provide transcription and translation to improve and quicken the time in which it takes to understand the content. So we are using AI to create metadata for at least 1,600 hours per month of incoming content. Most of that is raw video content, but also our live channel output that we're recording 24 hours a day for Shark News. In the early days, we focused mainly on the more traditional AI services, face detection, object recognition, transcription and translation. And then more recently, we have expanded that to use generative AI solution, a multimodal solution, to create human-like scene descriptions that really bring those highlights out of the content more easily. And we're doing that we're creating multilingual metadata in English and Arabic for all of that content, so that we can meet the search preferences of our users.
Yeah, I can imagine that being really quite challenging because you've got both English and Arabic speakers and not everyone speaks both languages, right? So it's really important and unique actually to a Shark to have this dual search capability. So yeah, I guess AI takes a lot of the hard work out in creating that metadata in both of those languages.
It does, and I think one of the biggest values, or one of the biggest values, is our face recognition. So when we launched, we couldn't find a model anywhere that identified the Arab business leaders and public figures that we need to recognise in our content. And over time, we've created that data set. So every person we interview, for example, is named in English. Their job title is provided in English and Arabic, so name and title, and any alias in English and Arabic. And that's really important because, as we know, especially translating Arabic names to English, there can be multiple spellings. So it's really important that we have that capability.
Yeah, so I can see that's really useful for like the actual content producers, both across broadcast and digital at a Shark. But I could also imagine a world where this data actually filters through to the owned and operated platforms as well, so that it could make that content more discoverable on those platforms. So Kathy, like, how exactly are you using AI to actually index the content? Like, what is the process and the unique challenges that a Shark have?
Yeah. Volume of content is probably not unique to us, but it would be a shared challenge for everybody. As our content comes in, we're immediately pushing it through to for AI processing, so that happens straight away. And as soon as that has happened, the metadata, or that process is completed for each media, the metadata is distributed across all of our different production and asset management platforms. I mentioned earlier we're multi-platform, so broadcast users tend to use different platforms to the digital production teams, for example. So that metadata is immediately pushed out to those platforms. And then our archivists, we still have archivists. We don't ever feel that archivists will be replaced by AI. In fact, they become more important. But their role has definitely changed to one of, as well as creating metadata manually, they're also trained to supervise the AI-generated metadata. So once that process has been carried out on every single media again, an updated metadata record is provided again to each of the platforms. So it just improves the accuracy and the confidence in the metadata that's created.
That's amazing. So when you say content, do you mean, is it just the raw video that's coming from, you know, your crews that are filming on cameras, or is this also being applied to live video streams that are coming into the building as well?
Yeah, so we are fully indexing all of our channel output. There are some content curation teams that utilize some of that content. So the transcription, translation, face detection, for example, is very important. So that's an immediate live solution. And then we also capture live streams and transcribe and translate those for our production teams as well. So that's actually in addition to the 1,600 hours I mentioned earlier.
So you've still got a team of people. Is that because the AI isn't accurate, or how accurate is it?
Yeah. So the AI is not going to be 100% accurate. It's pretty accurate for our needs, but we do need to make sure that when a face is detected and the system's telling us it's very highly confident that that person is correct, that we are reviewing and checking that, and we'll make any corrections and correct any false biases. For example, we had one of the previous Prime Ministers, Boris Johnson, his brother looks quite similar. And we had the same kind of blonde hair. Yeah, and for a while we had challenges with the AI detecting his brother as Boris, for example. So we do need to look out for these kinds of things, for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be challenging in the beginning, but as the AI gets cleverer, then it becomes less a challenge.
Yeah, we've actually found now that any face we're detecting that has a 95% confidence rating or above, almost always it's correct now. Almost always.
Well, that's very impressive and very, very useful. Content delivery optimization. So, Iyad, let's talk about the content delivery and how AI can be used to optimize the content delivery to OTT platforms.
Sure thing. If I may first comment on some of the stuff Kathy said. So, analyzing content is a big part of what AI can do, and that's what we're planning to do, to analyze our VOD library, to find extra metadata, genres, and mood, the time period of the actual film, not when it was produced, when it's supposed to have been happening. So all of that will feed into our recommendation system, where that can help recommend better, get better recommendation for our viewers on that subject. Moving back to the question, which is content delivery. What we have been doing for a while now, we work with one of our partners, and for a year we have been working on an AI model. They were developing it and we were testing it to enhance our encoding. When we deployed it, we saw around 67% reduction in our encoding bit rates. What that means is the customers were able to get a better quality much faster. When you talk about Ultra HD, around 3-5 megabit per second, a very high quality, that's amazing. Our customer satisfaction went up, our KPIs as engineering department went up, and that was a win-win situation.
That is very cool. And are you using AI for any other purposes, like, I don't know, censorship purposes?
We have looked at that a while back, and we're almost there to deploy a system where we have AI doing the censorship for us, and it was supposed to learn on our previous catalog and our previous censorship decisions. But eventually that didn't go well because you cannot assign responsibility. If AI makes a mistake and there is no human after that to correct that mistake, something wrong goes on air, and well, you cannot just blame the AI. And since we couldn't get 100% confidence in the AI, we didn't deploy that solution.
I could actually imagine that being the same issue across the entire workflow, from ingest of content to the delivery of it as well. So I don't know, have you ever looked into any anti-piracy at all? Not anti-piracy, sorry, content like censorship.
We've dipped our toes in the water. I'm
Yeah.
not sure of where the programming teams are with those kind of conversations, but something we've looked at. And yeah, the challenge is human supervision is needed for sure.
It needs to be 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Great. So let's pivot to another domain then. So which is benefit from AI content protection and fighting piracy. So, Iyad, what is the biggest challenge that content rights holders are facing in protecting their digital assets?
The problem is piracy is more and more becoming easier. Back in the days, it was not as easy for you to get pirated content. Nowadays, you pay $50 a year and you get like everything the internet has to offer. Between NBC, Shahid, STC TV, everything you can think of, it's there for $50 a year with technical support. So fighting piracy is never an ending game, it's an ongoing one. Where we see AI can help us with anomaly detection. So usually pirates, their behavior is different than the normal user when it comes to content consumption, CDN characteristics, and AI can find those anomalies. With training, you can make sure that you plug it right away. So that right now maybe we have a couple of days until we pick up on a new pirate. With AI help, it could be a few minutes and the pirate is out.
And how does that detection actually work? Like, are you doing something when you're encoding to then make that detectable?
This is more on the consumption behavior.
Yeah.
So when you look at CDN logs, you can see every user, what are they doing, not per user, but as a trend. So if there is somebody who's breaking that trend, consuming content in one day that usually is consumed in a week, then there is something wrong about that specific IP. That detection right now, we have our own dashboards, but still it is more manual. And if you have AI plugged into it, it definitely will help reducing the time before discovering a pirate.
Okay, great. So is there any like watermarking that goes on or anything like that?
We have watermarking, but that process is manual until now, where the watermark is inserted at the player side, and then if we detect a pirated stream, we extract it and put it to a portal where the portal can detect the source of the piracy. But I'm sure there are ways to optimize that with AI. I would leave that to Ala. He's the expert.
So, Ala, how is AI used to combat privacy on different digital platforms, such as social media, but also search engines and illegal aggregators, website aggregators?
Yeah. But we injected the AI in the web crawling mechanism to improve the content detection side and monitoring. And also we included the AI in the enforcement side to take down the content and speed up the takedown of the content, also to increasing also the accuracy of it. So we trying to implement the AI in the whole section from search and detect and then take down, so the whole cycle can be improved to speed up of that process.
So are you effectively scanning like all the social media platforms?
So we have a partnership with social media, and most of the social media, they have their content ID, which is they can uploading the reference and for fast detection and removing. But also there is the pirate tactics can emulate or avoiding that detection. So we using automatic software. Anything not detected by the content ID in social media, the software can detect it and also report it to the social media platform and take it down immediately through that.
Okay, and is that like a service that is completely automated?
Yes.
Does it have?
Yes.
Is there human supervision as well?
Yes. This will lead me to another subject, which is the human part. It's important to keep learning of the AI and injecting the data to the AI. So the AI or the algorithm that we're using the AI, it's keep learning from the human verification or the human part.
So, I mean, this is really interesting. It seems to be a bit of a theme, although what you do, Kathy, and what Ala does are two different things. Humans do seem to have a very important role, but a role that's evolved from what they were doing, say, 5 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so humans are now being used from a monitoring perspective. They're being used to train the AI, correct the AI when it gets things wrong. And essentially, it's a supervisory role as well.
As the discussion that happened in the earlier panelist, the AI is not 100% accurate. So we're relying on the human parts, because the human parts can take the decision correctly in any, let's say, in the anti-piracy of identifying if this is the content is infringing or not. Sometimes the AI solution cannot decide if the threshold less than like 85% or less. So we're relying on the human part to decide is this is infringing or not. That one of the decision or the data that's coming from the human parts, we use it inside the AI to learn it. So in the next automation decision, it can be more accurate to take the decision.
Excellent. So what role does the machine learning play in improving the detection accuracy?
So for us, we're using the machine learning to do more fast content detection, but the most important part of the machine learning we're using in the verification. So we have the automation verification process to identify if the content is infringing for our client or not, but we use the human verification one for the cases that cannot be decided by the AI. all the data that's coming from the human verification is injected to the AI to start learning the algorithm there, why the human parts decide to choose this as content is infringing, so the AI can adapt and change the accuracy of the decision. So in the next time the AI is running, he can take better decision on the content.
And for those people that don't know about using AI to combat anti-piracy, like how quickly would you expect the copyright infringements to be detected, and how long is it before it raises an alert and then triggers a takedown, say with a social media company like, I don't know, YouTube or Facebook or something like that?
So there is two parts: the social media parts and YouTube, which is Facebook and Instagram, etc. And there is the another part which is the aggregator and the search engine, etc. For the social media part, I think the platform itself, they developed their tool, which is the Content ID, and they use the AI and the machine learning to that to improve the detection. So, which is most of the third-party companies like us, we will not involve to improve that. It's relying on the platform itself. So we see that before 5 years or before, the detection become much slower than now. Now, if you're uploading the reference file, it detected immediately, and you can take it down immediately. So this is like proactive action from the social media side. The other side, which is the aggregator platform, it's help us to do the detection side. It's much faster because we're using pattern recognition, we're using a metadata that we gather from the aggregator side and search engine, etc., to detect the content faster. And also we inject it to the AI who's doing the takedown to take the decision, which path of the takedown. Are we go to the platform itself, or we go to the hosting provider? So depending on the data we have, a large data we have it in the system, the AI can decide the fastest route to take down that content.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So obviously you're leveraging AI, which is obviously increasing speed, efficiency, and it allows you to deal with the huge fragmentation now of content delivery in a more efficient way. I'm curious to know what the pirates are actually doing. Like, how do they get the content, and are they actually using AI too, or are they starting to use it? Is there going to be a bit of a battle between the pirates that are using AI and the technology that you're developing?
These days, we don't see the pirate is using the AI, except of using the automation. Before, when the pirate trying to get content from a legitimate platform, they do the recording manually, gather the videos manually, upload it also manually on the platform, different platform, so the viewer can see it. So when the takedown happen, they need to do the cycle again, and they take time. By the automation and AI, they speed that process. So we see, once the content take it down, within seconds or minutes, you see it again, it's uploaded. So the software need to do it again. So that's why the AI and the automation is very important, because if we don't adapt with the pirate, sophisticated setup, we will not able to fight the piracy.
Wow, that's a very interesting world. So to finish this panel, let's talk about the future. We all know that AI is evolving faster than ever. With every day, a new breakthrough announcement is happening, and it's very hard to predict the future. So it would be great to hear your thoughts about what the future actually looks like. So, Kathy, what is next? What are your hot priorities as the leader of the AI task force at Ashok?
Yeah, so the task force was set up last year. The objective last year was to develop our AI policy and guidelines, so across company. So it's a committee formed of members from across multiple departments at Ashok. They have been completed and approved by the stakeholders. This year, our focus will still keep working on and constantly reviewing the policies and guidelines, but our focus this year is to support new AI initiatives. So as new AI initiatives are identified, to support the business or the department to make sure they're aligned with the business objectives and strategy, that they're being monitored in the right way, that they're being ethically used, that the solutions are ethical themselves. It's exciting times.
Yeah, really, really exciting. I mean, I've known you for some time, and I've seen how your role has changed, and it's really interesting to hear, what's coming in the future. Iyad, I'd like to ask you, how do you think AI will contribute to your organization and your role, your job in the coming years?
Well, AI is already helping me writing code. So a piece of code that I used to write before, maybe it took me a day or so. Now it's like a few minutes, I'm done with it. Especially if I'm using a new language, I don't know the syntax. You just explain what you need to the AI. It does it maybe wrong the first time. You explain what happened wrong, and the AI would correct itself. The extension of that, I think, is when you have an AI capable of understanding your environment, where you can ask it as an assistant to the engineering team. I want to test this scenario, 1, 2, 3, go to the test bed, to the staging environment, do this test, give me the results. And based on the feedback, you would decide to maybe, I would like to go to production with this, gradually roll this out in production, keeping me updated with the performance, these specific KPIs. So I can see AI very helpful when it comes to the engineering side. On the content encoding side, NVIDIA already has NVIDIA Broadcaster. And basically what they do is when they stream from one side to the other, they take your video, they analyze your face, they know your AI twin or digital twin, let's say. On the other side, you see not the exact video, you see the AI version of the other party, where the stream is very minimal because your face is already on the other side. They'll ask the AI at the other side, for the next 15 frames, the face is going to move this way, that way. It's amazing technology. It's already there from NVIDIA. If you can implement this in video delivery, this will require special hardware on the receiver side, definitely. But if you do that with a set-top box, it would be great.
So, Ala, final question for you. What innovations in AI would further enhance privacy protection in the next 5 to 10 years? I'm not going to hold you to it, but I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, where you see it going.
Yeah, I think the next stage or the next step to integrate the AI with the blockchain. This one will help to create a decentralized copyrights identifier for the copyrights holder for the content, because this will eliminate the duplicate of the content rights, and also to know who's holding that right, because it will be a unique identifier for that content. Will help us also when we do like the takedown, etc. We know the customer who have the right, and especially as Iyad said, now we facing a lot of platform generating content by the AI, and you cannot know if any one of this company who generate videos or movies or short movies through the AI, if they have the right for it or not, because it's generated by the AI. So it will be difficult to fight against this. So I think it is important to integrate that one to have a unique identifier for the copyright holders.
Yeah, I can see how the blockchain will help immensely with that, because as you say, it's very easy today to change something that makes the video content look different. Okay, well, thank you very much to the panel. This brings an end to our discussion, and yeah, I just want to thank you, Kathy, Iyad, Ala, for bringing such valuable insights and your experiences, and helping us understand how AI will help shape the future of our industry. I encourage you all, the audience, to have a chat with our panelists to continue this conversation. If you could just give me, or give them a warm round of applause. Thank you very much.